Hey everybody, it's Dr. D. I'm going to be talking to you about a data talk. A data talk is a routine that allows students to make sense out of data and engage in discourse using evidence from visual representations. This particular routine can work across the grade span and across disciplines. Let's take, for example, you're a PE teacher and you want students to understand nutritional values, and so they're analyzing data on fast food restaurants and obesity trends. Or perhaps you're teaching social studies and you want your students to look at data to really think about the underlying factors that influence someone to vote for a political candidate. Data talks can also be used with ELA and English Language Arts. I strongly recommend it because there's so much informational text that's now required with Common Core. So encouraging your students to make sense out of data, it allows them to also connect with whatever narrative you're reading. So take something like the Diary of Anne Frank, and students can look at data sets from the Holocaust and really understand the impact of these events. So if you are familiar with a number talk, a data talk is very similar. It begins with a visualization of data set and then just asking students what they notice and what they wonder. Students then share their noticing wonderings, and the teacher can record their ideas and then ask some follow-up questions. If I haven't convinced you to use data sets yet, I just want you all to know that this is a wonderful routine that really prepares students to be college and career ready, as over 50 college majors require a statistics or data science course. Also, it's important to take note of that 90% of the world's data has been created in the last 2 years. So data is just rich with mathematical and real-world connections, and it really allows us, as whether you're a math teacher or not, to think about teaching through an interdisciplinary lens. In addition, if you're a big fan of the Standards for Mathematical Practice, data science and data talks are going to give your students the why of doing math, the opportunity to engage in those SMPs like making sense of problems and persevering, constructing viable arguments and critiquing the reasoning of others, as well as looking for and expressing regularity and repeated reasoning. So you get to see all of that happening in a data talk. So we're going to watch a video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, check out those comments. I shared my data talk with you. Super easy and fun to do, and your students will love it. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
Awesome. So today we're going to get started with a data talk. How many people have ever done a number talk before? Give me a thumbs up. All right. Still waiting over here. Have you guys done number talks? Awesome. Who can tell me what is a number talk? Who can explain it? Tell me what a number talk is. Yes.
I think it's like some sort of slide, like Google slide or whatever, where like there's math and you're supposed to talk about how to problem solve and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So I hear what you're saying. So there's a problem. You talk about how to problem solve. Does anyone else remember what a number talk is? And you guys are sharing, you know what a number talk is. There's multiple solutions. There's many different representations and ways that you can use to solve a problem. We're going to do something different, but very similar. It's called a data talk. Okay, so building on what you already know about a number talk, we're going to get started with the question. And I see some of you have already got started using our Jamboard. Share with me, what is your favorite fruit? Awesome. So I see Brittany said pineapple, Matt said cantaloupe. Did anyone say the same thing? Who?
Me and my brother.
You and your brother, what did you both say?
Passion fruit.
So if we just looked at this data, what would be the most popular fruit?
Looks like, I see 2 strawberries, 2 apples, and 2 passion fruits. So those are the top 3.
So it'd be like a 3-way tie?
Yeah.
Who agrees with, what's your name?
Mason.
Mason, who agrees with Mason? That will be a 3-way tie. Do the agree sign? Yes. Yes, like a number talk, right? All right, you guys, so we're going to actually look at some data right now. And similar to a talk, I want you to think about, look at the data on the next slide, and record what you notice and what you wonder about this data. Now, this data was actually collected from all of the supermarkets that you go and you buy fruit. And so they look at the data and they say, based on the sales of fruit, they were able to create a graph representing the most popular fruits bought in the United States. Okay? So I want you to write down what you notice and what you wonder about this particular data set. So now we're looking at the data from the popular fruits that were purchased in the United States, okay? So you can click on this sticky note here, write down one thing that you notice about the data set, and one thing that you wonder. Very good. Awesome.
Okay. I love the way you're letting people have equal voices, that they can either talk or type, and it gives everybody a voice.
What do you notice and what do you wonder? And I'm wondering, ladies and gentlemen, what do these circles represent? Who can help me figure out how to interpret this particular data set? Because this is different than like a bar graph or a line plot or a histogram or a pie chart, right? The data's not represented that way. Who can help me make sense out of it? Yes.
The circle's it means the bigger the circle is, the more popular it is.
Uh-huh.
And it's like banana. It's a big group of people, and nectarine, it's a small group of people.
Absolutely. So these are like nodes. They represent a size, right? A quantity. So as you shared, the bigger the circle, the more people that actually like that fruit. And that represents that data set. Awesome. Good connection. And so someone actually said, I noticed that the banana is big. Okay, who wants to share one thing that they notice or wonder with us? Yes.
How much more bananas than apples? Because it seems not by much that bananas are more than apples.
I like that connection.
How much are the differences?
Absolutely, I like that connection you're making. So he noticed that the banana and the strawberry size are almost similar, but he said, how much more is the bananas than the apples? Excellent connection. Excellent, I like that. So now we're using Math Talk to look at data. Who else wants to share one thing that they noticed or wondered about this popular fruit data set?
Use your voice.
Let's hear from someone over here. Yes. The mango is not very popular. How did you notice that?
Because the circle is one of the smallest.
Exactly. So if we were to put this in another kind of graph, as you shared, maybe a bar graph, that mango would probably be one of the smallest. What's another circle that's about a similar size to the mango? Yes.
I'm actually pretty surprised that the watermelon is very small. That can't be a lot bigger.
I like that connection you're making. So for right now, we're not going to put pictures of the fruits, but I like the connection you're making. Who wants to make a guess or a hypothesis about why the watermelon is not a larger size? Okay, now remember, you guys, that the graph represents the sales, okay? So it's not actually a survey where I'm going around asking everybody what their most favorite fruit is it? The graph, the data represents the sales of fruit. So who can make a connection? What was your name? Who can take a guess at why they think the watermelon is the smallest? Want to hear from somebody?
You haven't shared it yet.
What do you think?
It's your thought.
What do you think? What is the reason why the watermelon might not be as large as the other fruits? not to know. Let's hear what everyone else thinks. Yes.
Because less people like watermelon.
Maybe less people like watermelon. Okay. How many people have actually how many people go to the grocery store regularly with their parents? Raise your hand if you always go to the store with your parents. No, just a few people. Do you see watermelons all year round?
No.
No? No. What fruit do you always see every time you go to the grocery store?
Apples.
Apples and bananas.
Apples and bananas. So, do you think maybe there's a connection there?
Oh, because bananas and apples can have longer time to sell.
Exactly, right. And that's why the data is representing the sale. All right, you guys.
And
So,
are you able to bring a watermelon to school with you and just eat it for a snack?
there you go. That's a great connection, Miss Karen. Karen's saying that's a possible reason. I know I always bring a banana because it has that hard shell too. So I know it's not going to get ruined like a strawberry. Awesome. Let's look at another data set. Thumbs up if you're ready to do another data set. All right. Before we get started with this data set, I figured this would be a good one. I want you to just take a quick survey. What types of video game consoles do you like to play? So what I'd like you to do is go get a sticky note, write your name and the type of video game console. Now, a console is a device, maybe like an Xbox or a Nintendo Switch. Maybe you don't like video games, okay? And which one do you like to play? And I know people are making several, so if you could just pick one, that would be great. Which one do you like to play the most, okay? And then guess what? We're gonna look at a data set that has the popularity of video game consoles. Does that sound interesting? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Awesome. I see
What
a
do
lot.
they vote if they don't prefer to play video games? Can they have a vote also?
Sure, they could just say I don't play. Awesome. I see people are actually adding images. Some people like the computer also. Okay.
Type of computer.
PC.
Desktop.
Okay, 30 seconds. Put your vote in. And then we're going to look at our data set about the most popular video game consoles that people are purchasing.
Oh, I know which one it is.
Okay, well, you can also make a guess. If you want to put a guess on there, you can.
Wait, what?
If you want to put a guess on which one you think what you think is going to be the most popular video game console, because we're going to look at that data set next, you can put that on there. All right, I see Switch. Okay. So, based on our class data, everyone look up here, what is the most popular video game console based on our class data? Who can tell me? Which one do you see the most, the highest frequency? Yes.
Xbox.
The Xbox? Okay. Yeah, I agree. There's probably more Xbox.
PC.
And the PC, what's PC? Oh,
Personal computer.
Oh, personal computer. Okay. I don't think PC, and I know probably people are saying PC because they like to play Roblox. Thumbs up if you play Roblox.
I play Minecraft.
Or Minecraft, yes. But we're just going to look at video game consoles. All right, you guys, let's take a look at our data set. So we're going to go to the next slide. All right. Here you go. And now I want you to write down one thing that you notice and one thing you wonder about this data set. Okay, and I want you to look at the entire data set. Does anyone know what kind of graph this is? Yes.
Bar graph.
It's a bar graph. So I'm going to give you a few minutes. Grab those sticky notes. We're not going to add images right now. We're just going to write down one thing that you notice and one thing that you wonder about this data set. Okay?
I like the way they match the color.
Amazing, huh? Imagine having that much money. connection that you're making.
Do you want to stop the video?
Oh, yeah, we can pause and then add. That's what I was going
Pause
to
and
edit.
restart. This will be a good time.
So this could
Whoa, I like that connection you're making. So,
because of the lockdown, like I tried to get my Nintendo right after this, pretty much like in October, but it was so hard to find one.
Yes.
So the Nintendo could have changed, everything could have changed though.
I love
It
it.
would be incorrect, but it's still a good thing to base off of.
You're really thinking like a mathematician because you're noticing that the data set could be skewed because this was collected before COVID-19. Awesome
It was
connection.
during COVID-19, but not everyone was in lockdown. Most people were, but not everyone.
Right. Awesome. Great connection. I see some other hands raised. Yes.
I think, yeah, like Mason said, this is probably very incorrect because of COVID and people have nothing else to do except gaming. And then when the PS5 came out, and then also console wars. So,
I like that. So you're saying that this data may be inflated because there was more people using video games as a result.
Yeah.
Great connection. Yes.
I think this is also incorrect too because, like, I know, like, in December of 2020, the PS5 came out and everyone was trying to get it. So that's and everything else since COVID, people now stay more inside and now they just do video games.
Awesome. So what I hear from you is that the data is constantly changing and that PS5 came out in December. This was collected in September. So if we were to collect this data again, maybe right now, we're in June, you might have different results. I love that you guys are thinking about what the data represents and how data is constantly changing. Great connections. Okay, we're gonna do one more. Where video games are popular among adults. Now, I want you guys to really look closely at this graph because there are multiple data sets going on. Notice that I'm actually it's a little bit more complex, okay? You can see three kinds of data in this data set. So everyone look. What does this dark color represent?
Frequent, so consistent.
Free Pomeranians. I know, I see them everywhere. Great connection. Yes.
I noticed that for the entire time, this board goes from 1999 to 2019. There's always German Shepherd and Labrador Retriever at the top, and nothing else changes except for the fact that there's a Yorkshire Terrier or something like that.
A Yorkshire Terrier.
Yeah.
And now there's a Golden Retriever. But back then, the Golden Retriever was right next to the French Bulldog now.
Awesome.
And the Beagle was with the Bulldog.
So I want to just capture a few things that you said that were super spot on, that we're actually looking at data set that's comparing two types of data from 2009 to 2019. So they're making, this data is actually comparing two data sets. And as my friend also shared, there's a new doggy that emerged here that is not on this list, the Yorkshire Terrier. Notice that it was popular here in 2009, but it's not on our 2019 list. What is on our 2019 list that wasn't on our 2009 list? Anyone see that data set? Yes.
Rootweiler? What is that?
Rottweiler, yes. The Rottweiler's on 2019, not on 2009.
Same with poodle.
Same with Poodle, and yes, another one, do you want?
I also see that French Bulldog is there too.
And French Bulldog, very good. I noticed that some of these numbers have a positive and a negative sign. What do you think that represents? Yes.
They go down or go up in popularity or stay the same.
Excellent. So it represents the change, either negative or positive. And guess what? When you're doing 6th grade next year, you'll be learning all about integers and rational numbers, right, Miss Karen?
Yeah.
So that's a great, we're already looking, we're already seeing it, yes.
I also, from 2009, the boxer isn't there.
The boxer isn't there. That's right. So the boxer decreased in popularity. It was popular in 2009, and it did not make the most popular list in 2019. Excellent. All right, students, thank you so much. The last slide, you can share one kind of data set that you would like to see, and next time I come back and visit you, I'll have that data set so we can analyze. Great job today. Give yourself a round of applause.